Thank you so much for joining me today. Elysia Allen with Coldwell Banker Oceanside Real Estate here in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia. And I am absolutely thrilled to introduce to you a wonderful local business owner named Bonneau with Bonneau Gifts. Now, Bree, you make more than gift baskets. You've done wonders for my clients, and I'm so thrilled to have been connected with you, to work with you, and I look forward to many more.
Oh, thank you.
But without further ado, who can introduce Bree better than Bree? So where are you originally from?
Well, I was born in Alberta, but moved here when I was a kid. And I basically grew up in Victoria. Nice. And I lived away for a couple of years in Nelson when I was in college, and then 3 years in Boston after that. And then I ended up back in Victoria, so back home. Yeah.
Now the big question, are you a hockey fan?
I am a hockey fan. I wouldn't say I love hockey. I will play hockey.
Okay.
I grew up playing street hockey with my brothers.
Nice.
But I don't have a team, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you were in some pretty interesting areas there.
Exactly.
For intense hockey.
Yeah. Bruins, Canucks, Calgary Flames. Yeah.
Right.
I've been all those. Yeah.
Okay. Because I fear I'm an Edmonton Oiler fan.
Okay.
So when you mentioned Calgary, I was like, oh gosh. Brace yourself, folks.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So you made the move to the West Coast, loved being born and raised, and what kind of idea, and here we are. So can you describe your amazing business?
Yes. So I make customizable gift baskets, and I use local products as much as I can. If the products themselves aren't local, then I do source them from local businesses, because that's important to do to support people in your community. So that's what I do. I have a connection with Moss Street Market, so I source a lot of things from vendors there, which I think is quite special because some of those things are not even in stores yet. So that's what I do, and I wrap them up as beautifully as I can and try to make a really special gift for someone.
Great. So you've heard it here, folks, the inside track before it becomes available to the public. Now, the Moss Market, that's been around for quite some time.
30 years, yeah.
30 years. Yeah. And when did you get involved with the Moss Market?
Well, I actually started at Moss Street Market in March of 2020, so right at the height of the pandemic.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Okay, but what a way to network with folks and really see the logistics behind people's crafts and business, and to showcase, because we had no idea what to expect when COVID arrived.
Exactly.
And that's a big focus for me, is to promote local, keep it local, keep the mom and pop shops, flourishing.
Exactly.
So, well, thanks for doing what you do, because we're all connected and we all circle the wagons together.
I agree. Yeah, thank you.
So what made you decide to open this business after all the customer service you've done?
Yeah, I have an extensive background in food and in customer service. So I really like food. I worked in pastry for several years, and quality quality of things is really important to me. And, I'm interested in food. I've always been interested in food, trying different things. And then my husband happens to be someone who is a very skilled bartender, so he knows a lot about alcohol, which also pairs nicely when you're making gift baskets. And then, of course, customer service. I've always liked helping people in general. And I love to make people's day, to do extra things to make people feel special, to make them feel like someone thought specifically about them. So that's what I'm trying to convey with my gift baskets, is making people feel special. So, and I love that. I love that feeling of people saying wow, you didn't have to do that. You went the extra mile or whatever. So that I like that. So that's it.
I love that you also, throw the gauntlet down for a challenge. So there might be a specificity of type of client or type of gift closing, but what about, I love your line, and if you're not sure what to get, I love the challenge of building.
I do. Yes, I do. Exactly, because a lot of people don't know what to get for people. They're like, oh, this person's so hard to shop for. Right. And so all I ask them to do is just give me some details about who they are, what they like to do, and then just leave it to me, because I think I'm a pretty creative person, and I like to try and find little things, even if it's just one special detail. I think it can make a big difference. So I try to include as many as I can.
Absolutely. I love it. So not afraid of a challenge, people. Bonneau gifts.
Yeah.
For the difficult or the easy client.
That's right.
Well, that's awesome. Now you've brought some examples in to show us here today. Love them.
Yeah.
I admit I've been kind of poking around in there. Can you maybe talk us through the examples you've brought here?
Yeah, for sure. So this one here is it's more of a like sort of a gift for anyone. Like people order gifts sometimes for birthdays or just because, a thinking of you, a thank you gift. So that's more what this is. There's some Mile Zero coffee in it. There's some bath salts that are from Country Bee. They make honey there, which is really great too. It's small batch honey, amazing. There's some From the Earth spices in here. There's Serene chocolate, Salt Spring Island candles. And one of my new favorite food people is Elk and the Tide Catering. They make amazing dressings and sauces, and they're also a catering company. They can come to your house and cook dinner and stuff. So there's a dressing in there. They call it crack dressing because it's so good. And yeah, it's aptly named. So there's that in there. David Booth makes, his company is Terrible Truffles, so that's in there. And then there's just a couple of
truffles.
Yeah, there's amazing chocolates. And then there's some self-care items in there. There's a vitamin C gummy it's called Immunity Defense, and it's a gummy vitamin, super delicious and great for this time of year. We were just talking about colds before.
Yes.
And then there's like a body scrub, and I can't remember what else is in there, but yeah, just things that make people feel good or taste good or whatever. So that's that one.
Great.
And then this one's more of like a housewarming or like for a real estate agent closing gift. So it's got some snacks in it, and it's got some other things in it. I like to use like the 3 Fs when I'm building baskets: functional, fun, and food. So that's the categories I like to think about.
You've got me hooked.
Yeah. So we've got, as far as functional goes, I've got some laundry detergent and dish soap in the back, some hand soap. There's a linen there because sometimes when you're moving into a house, you don't always know like where your stuff is. Like, where's the dish soap? Where's the linen? So it's handy to just have those things ready to go and on hand. So that's why I like to include those. And then there's of course some crackers and a nice bottle of wine, and then just some other
when you're unpacking, right?
Yeah.
To have the wine ready, the linen, because it's always the last box.
Yeah,
in the back room.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. It was the one that fell off the moving truck or whatever.
Of course.
Yeah, and then and then there's just some other things in there, and then sometimes for fun items I might throw in like a fun pair of socks, or like if there's kids I might throw in some like scrunchies or like a bath bomb or something that's from somebody that makes it locally. And yeah, and then of course food speaks for itself. All kinds of delicious treats from local places. Yeah.
Especially those chocolates you allowed us to sample.
Yes.
Just, sorry.
Yes, yeah.
Well, and what I also love is, I think you're mentioning like this barrel shape.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that it's while quantities last.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I only have a few of those left, and yeah, I like to source things from wherever I can find them. I've used very interesting vessels. Yeah, I've used like old wine boxes, that have the wine label on the outside, but because I think that it's more interesting that way and more practical. You can reuse the vessel, so
it's very green, sustainable.
Yeah, I'm trying definitely. I moved to this tulle fabric wrap as opposed to the plastic wrap. I use raffia to tie things instead of ribbon, and and I'm trying to move away from the paper fill because that can be wasteful, although it can be recycled. So
right. Yeah. Well, and I can attest that they travel well.
Good.
So
yeah.
it keeps everything together.
Yeah, and that's good too. It needs to be sturdy because God forbid something gets knocked over. So
gosh, everybody's fear.
Yeah.
But not with Bonneau gifts. Everything stays intact.
Yeah.
So, what drives you to do what you do? What motivates you? Because I know people are a big aspect.
Yeah, definitely. Making people feel special. Definitely, that's like giving something that's different. That's not just your average thrown together from a random grocery store gift basket. I do like to make people happy. But a big driver for me too is my kids, right? I think I've got 3 daughters, And I think it's important for them to see me building something on my own. And, you know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with working jobs and everything, but it's also nice for them to see me building something and, you know, not being afraid to jump in. One thing that I did when I started this was I usually would think about it a little bit more, but with this I kind of I took a chance and I jumped in with 2 feet, and I agreed to make my first basket before I'd even really put one together. So I just said yes and figured it out later, and I want to set that example for them because I do think that, you know, society can learn a lot from just the way that they teach their own children. So that's a huge driver for me, is to be the best example and the best influencer I possibly can for my kids.
Right on.
Yeah.
I've met one of your daughters.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah.
But what a what a beautiful message to convey. You know, I've got a daughter myself, 7, and to see that drive, that passion, that love for what you do, and to allow you the flexibility to enjoy life as well with them.
And be with them, yeah.
And, you know, if there's a play to try and get to, and you don't have to worry about anything because you've got the flexibility. So
yeah, like I want to be their primary influencer. So being with them and then letting them see me accomplish things and, you know, step outside my comfort zone, I think is good for them.
And that's huge, because I was always raised with the mantra, if you don't jump, the net won't appear.
I love that. That's great.
Right? So I love that strength in you to take that leap. And the net is appearing. And from your social media and from my experience and other agents, like, you can just see the love and care in these packages for folks. Like, I can't stress it enough. It's more than gift baskets.
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do care. Like, it's important to me that my customers are happy, and if they're not, I want to know. Yes. I'm not going to be the kind of person who, if someone complains to me and said they didn't like this, I'm not going to be like, well, I don't care. It's not. That's not how I do things. If they don't like something, I want to know. Just like the plastic wrap. Like, people said, well, have you considered moving to plastic free? I'm like, okay, I hear your feedback. Right. Let's see what we can do. And then I experimented with all kinds of things. I used cheesecloth one time. I used organza. I tried different fabrics and landed with tulle. But yeah, like I'm totally open to feedback. I want the feedback because I'm the kind of person who I want to take criticism and get better. Yes. I'm not interested in having a big ego over it. I want to do the best possible job I can for everybody. So that's important to me.
And I could tell that when we first met over the phone before I met you in person. You know, you could just hear that. So, you know, thank you for your care in this field, because we come across so many folks from all kinds of different experiences, backgrounds, cultures, and you seem to bring it all together.
I hope so. I hope it's cohesive.
So that's awesome. So I guess now I'm a customer of your business, but what have some customers said about your business? Have you had some testimonials provided?
I have, yes. I used a testimonial, actually. I think I posted one on social media recently. It was somebody who I made a birthday basket for her wife. Nice. And she was blown away because she said her wife is European and liked specific things and that were European, and so I tried my very best to source things that I thought would fit that you know, that criteria. And when she wrote me and said her wife was totally blown away about the variety of items and all the things, and she was just so impressed. The cheese that I got was bang on, and just, yeah, it was great. Like she was totally like more than happy with it, and it was so nice to have that written feedback too, because I don't always hear from people that I give gifts to, so it's nice to hear like positive or negative. I love feedback, so. Yes. Yeah, so it was wonderful.
What kind of cheese? Just on a side.
This particular cheese was a Tellagio.
A Tellagio?
Yeah.
I mean, I love cheese. I don't think I've tried a Tellagio.
Yeah, it's kind of a soft-ish cheese, and it's stronger in flavor.
Oh,
yeah.
Fantastic. Well, and also what I must convey is you listen. I think that's a huge thing. You know, for being a business owner, you're listening to what your clients are asking for or putting out there, like, well, Bree, you said you wanted a challenge. You know,
I hope so.
I think that's a huge part, is that you connect with people so well. So that does not surprise me that you rocked it on the birthday package.
Yeah, thank you.
And I know my clients have just been over the moon, and you know, you've saved their lives with those certain types of coffee too. So
Oh, good. Yeah, yes. Coffee is life. Yeah.
coffee is life. In fact, mine's hiding under the table as we speak. But now, I guess, what are some things that people may not know about your business? Maybe how do you connect with maybe artisans or...
Okay, so well, one thing that people definitely don't know about my business is that I have the smallest workspace that you could ever imagine. I just build these in a tiny little corner in my house. I've got a desk that's about this big, and all my stuff is all on shelves. And yeah, it's pretty like surprising that, you know, I wish I had a nice space to do it, and I will one day. But yeah, that would surprise people probably, I think, to see how small the spaces that I work in. So there's that.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and then as far as the vendors, yeah, I connect with the vendors. Like when I started at Moss Street Market, you know, my role there is to be a liaison between vendors and customers, and you know, issues that might arise, and kind of oversee things. So for me, that screamed relationships are very important in this role. So I tried my very best when I first started to just go around to each vendor, say good morning, hi, get to know their names. I'm pretty much know everyone's name, the vendors, and there's lots, because I felt that was important, and that's how I've been able to build like good like business relationships, and you know, I purchase from them, and I think it's a very respectful relationship, and I think that they trust me, and because I've taken the time to build those relationships with them. Right. And I do think that's important for anybody. I don't think that things always have to be transactional. I think that relationship building is really important to do first before you just do business.
That absolutely huge, especially from a real estate point
of view. You know.
You know, because it's the trust that people give to us, you know, with the services that we do provide.
Yeah.
And when you connect with these artisans and farmers and business owners, you know, not only are you supporting folks, but, you know, you're also showcasing what they love to do. And even pre-public.
Yeah.
So you get the inside scoop.
That's right.
And that's trust, that's care, and that's fantastic, and that's why you will soar and succeed. I mean, you already are. So that's why I'm glad to nab you this early in the career here.
Thank you.
So what are some of your goals over the next year? I guess because we're coming up, November almost.
Yeah, Christmas is coming. So one of my short-term goals is to make it through Christmas in one piece. I anticipate that Christmas will be a busy time of year for me. My goals are definitely to be able to expand into a workspace, not necessarily an office yet, but to be able to just move out of the current living situation that we're in and into a bigger space so that I can have my own workspace. I would love to just connect with more people. Just build my network really is a main goal, because I would say I'm not necessarily a natural networker when it comes to business, because this is pretty new to me. But I think one of my goals is to just increase my business networking skills for this year, and just serve as many people as I can, basically.
You got it. And I know sometimes I've thrown some short time frame curveballs, and you've managed to wrangle that. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. And I'm looking into like shipping and seeing how I can do fast turnaround times for sure. So.
Right. Yeah. Because I guess sometimes maybe a challenge, I'd say what challenge is probably getting a bigger workspace as well.
Yeah.
But time frames, ideally, to put some love in and some connection, ideally, how much turnaround time would you, in a perfect world?
Yeah, I would say like ideally for anyone, I would say that like I'd love to be able to turn things around like in a maximum of 48 hours, like depending how big it is. Like sometimes I can do things very quickly. Now that I've got going a little bit more, like 24 hours, 48 hours is sometimes totally doable. But I'd like to have that be the standard. 24 to 48 hours. So
especially when you got a realtor like me.
Yeah.
Going, "Hey, hell."
yeah. I'd love for people to just text me and just be like, I need a basket for this date, this date, this date. And I say, okay, got it. And that's it. And just,
head down.
and for my clients to just trust me with that too. I love that idea that they'll know me well enough that they don't have to ask too many questions about what's going in the basket or whatever. Just say, here's what I want, here's some details, and just trust me to do it. Much like you have, right?
Pretty much. I'm like, perfect, Bree, I'm on my way. I'm getting
That's
it.
what I want. I want people to be able to trust me and just know that, like, yep, I got you covered. And if your clients love it, then you can take the credit. And if they hate it, you can blame me.
Well, and I think paying forward with that positive feedback is key. So watch for your website and stuff. More coming your way.
Yeah.
So I guess, so you mentioned husband, 3 daughters. Now husband Adam.
Yeah, you met him.
Yeah, such a doll.
Yeah, he is.
And you can just see his support and care for you in the building of this business, which is so awesome to see. Sorry, I'm getting goosebumps.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
He's awesome, yeah.
And so you mentioned he's bartender.
He was, yeah. He left the industry, but...
Okay. And what does he do now?
Now he works for Country Grocer. It's a much more family-friendly job because bartending usually means wee hours in the morning.
That's right, nights.
And ships passing in the night for us. So, so he moved into, actually during the pandemic, the place that he was working before was shut down. It was a restaurant, it was shut down. And so during that time, he just picked up extra work at a grocery store just because. And they asked him to come back. They loved him so much. They asked him recently, hey, what are you doing now? I'm building a new team. You want to come back? So, so then he was offered a full-time position, and he decided to take it because it's more family-friendly. Yeah,
absolutely. And I love that coming together.
So, we are a good team, for sure.
I was going to say, I could see probably his artistry coming out as well. You know.
He's very helpful. He helps me build the boxes if they need to be built, and he sources all the alcohol for me, which is very, very handy because I know what I like, but he knows more. Like if somebody asks for a specific flavor in alcohol, then he knows exactly what to get.
Fantastic, because that is a skill in itself. I remember a client
100%.
showed me a bottle of wine, and I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head, which it's escaping me, and it was sold out everywhere. And I guess the vintner only made a certain batch.
Right.
And I guess, of course, almost like real estate, a little bit in limited inventory, high demand.
Yeah.
So if you've got an inside person that knows how to source that stuff, it's just priceless. So
it is, yeah.
Not only do you make people happy, you save lives on a daily basis. Yeah. So with that, I guess aside from work, being mom.
Yep.
And you mentioned a figure skater.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Oh, come on. It's like riding a bike.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have some other hobbies that you enjoy?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I played sports growing up, but what I really do is I'm a musician. So I'm actually, I have a degree in music.
What?
And that's like, look at my degree in music is.
I love it.
But you know what? I ran that course, and at some point, it's this kind of the same thing. A career in music means often nights and odd hours and a lot of hustle. So I think at some point for me, I felt I had to choose between pursuing a career directly in music and performing or deciding to have a family. And I decided to have a family instead. And that works fine for me. I still get to do music for fun. And I love it. Like sometimes I perform around town a little bit, and I sang earlier this week for somebody's, unfortunately for a funeral service, but I still do perform a bit, and and I get to teach my kids too. So
I was going to say that's pretty awesome to see little maestros.
Oh yeah,
coming up.
It's fantastic.
Is there a certain instrument that you?
I'm a singer. First, and then I play various instruments terribly. So piano, guitar, ukulele, trumpet, all these things I play very averagely.
I love it. Well, and it's
fun.
And that's it. And what I love about music, because I got a degree in classical archaeology, and I remember a lot of folks saying, well, what can you do with that? And you think, I can do whatever I want to do because you know how to learn.
Yeah.
You know how to develop these skills.
Mm-hmm.
You're passionate about what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Renaissance education.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, that's what I love, is that music connects with so many folks.
It does, yeah.
Whether tough times,
Mm-hmm.
joyous times.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, she'll put on a song if she's feeling a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
and then she'll just start dancing, or it'll bring it out. Maybe she's having a little rougher day,
Mm-hmm.
and music is the source. And it kind of comes back to the artist in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you can see with your business,
Mm.
that that love of life, and I've played piano growing up,
Mm-hmm.
so I've and gosh, my tutor will probably laugh. I'm attempting violin right now.
Nice.
So when you mention I think it's starting to sound a bit more like the song it's supposed to sound, but it's these attention to details. It's the patience.
Yeah.
And you're creating something amazing here, and it's going to take off, and it already is.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm thrilled about that. So I love the harmony.
Yeah, totally. I do. I think that all things that I've done in my life have contributed to my ability to even do this, because, going to university, going through that process of earning a degree or whatever, does prepare you for other things, right? You have to have some level of discipline, and all that. So it all helps. Every little thing that you do prepares you for the rest of your life. So.
And that's what's cool for your kids to see as well, all these different experiences and where you come in life, because I think someone shared a really good point that no, we don't have a crystal ball of what to see in the future, but we can look at the past and see the path that we've taken. Sometimes a bit of road rash here and there.
Oh, yeah.
But, it builds character.
Yep.
And it leads us to where we are today, and how, maybe we've bettered ourselves in certain categories, and now we're like, yes, this is exciting. And tomorrow's tomorrow, but we're in the now.
Yep.
And I love that. So
yeah, I do too. I mean, you can look back and see how far you've come, right?
Yes.
So overcome adversities and hurdles, and all that.
You got it. And I can honestly say I could try and put something together, and it will not look like this.
Yeah.
So Bree, thank you so much for taking the time, from your busy schedule to meet with me, to share with viewers and clients, a little more insight about yourself, about your amazing local business. It doesn't get more local than Bonneau Gifts. And Tellagio cheese?
Yeah, that was that was it.
Tellagio.
Yeah.
We'll talk off camera.
Sounds good.
But so thank you so much. And I look forward to working with you extensively in the future.
Thank you.
More to follow off camera. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me with the magnificent Bree Bonneau of Bonneau Gifts, Elysia Allen with Coldwell Banker Oceanside Real Estate here in Victoria, British Columbia. And I will post Bree's contact info, because don't hesitate. You'll want to get on the Rolodex and see what amazing gifts can come your way for any occasion. So take care, and until next time.
Thank you.